What's going on, people? I am back a couple minutes late, but here we're at. Had a couple things to deal with. I literally rolled out of bed maybe 20 minutes ago. So, uh, as you guys were reading the timeline, or if you guys checked my timeline on Twitter, you guys saw that I probably went to bed at like 6:30 a.m., which was about 3.5 hours ago. But I'm up, I'm awake, I'm ready to go. Shout out to everybody that's already in the stream. Appreciate you guys waiting for me. I had to get the coffee going as well too. So I, made sure I was fueled up and ready to go for you guys. Let me just steep this shit. Well, not steep. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. Um, yeah. So you kind of gotta expect it every time you go into an event now, especially event day. Obviously, it's a lot shittier when the event is super early, and you only have about 2 hours before the event starts, and you get news that one of the fights is canceled. So I don't want to make you guys panic too much. Obviously, it was a fight that I was very much looking forward to. Imavov versus Phil Hawes gets canceled due to a late injury, apparently, to Phil Hawes. I'm not sure exactly the extent of it, um, or how you even suffer any type of injury this close to the fight. You know, what I mean, that's weird as fuck. Like, I understand if it was like a day of or day before COVID test or something like that. But yeah, it apparently was an injury of some sort. I appreciate you guys bearing with me in terms of getting my morning rolling. Fuck, I even got my boy Alfred with me here. I'm feeding him his breakfast. I don't know if you guys have dogs as well too, but like there's something with Alfred where if we just give him his entire serving at once, the guy just gorges it and fucking and starts to puke. So we have to like feed him in little doses and shit over the span of like an hour. I don't know if other people have wiener dogs or if they've experienced the same thing, but yeah, I don't know. He gorges whenever we put the whole fucking portion out for him. So we got to be careful in terms of how much we feed him. But yeah, appreciate the compliment on the hat, Mr. Tejas Malik. My wife actually got this for me for Christmas. Uh, it's a limited run. We got a one of one version right here, but it's definitely something that I've thought about dropping in the future to you guys. Speaking of merch, I do have a couple things that I'm talking about. Um, in terms of releasing merch for you guys. I've had a lot of people ask me about it. Yeah, it's just a matter of time until I actually get it out to you guys. I just got to work on the logistics of it. But yeah, as soon as Alfred's done eating, I'll definitely throw him up into the stream so you guys can say hi to him and shit. Um, Also, another thing this morning, you guys obviously know the explosion of the Lock of the Night challenge. We had a ton of people sign up for this most recent iteration of it, and yeah, I just need to put out the call to a couple of people in terms of people that had Imovov or Hawes or something to do with that fight in their Lock of the Night play. So I need to make sure that they're either resubmitting their play or they're rest assured that their play is okay, even though that fight is off. So luckily, we still have about 2 hours. And this is another pain with the whole DraftKings thing, right? Like, if you guys haven't already heard, I will be doing a DraftKings show for Sal Vetri for all you DFS players out there. I will be yeah, I will be doing an MMA DFS show for Sal Vetri and his platform. I'm very much looking forward to that. That was announced, I believe it was last week at this point, and or sorry, early this past week. And yeah, I'm excited for my foray into the DFS world. Like I've fiddled with DFS a little bit, but not to a crazy extent. But the plan was always to go full on into the DFS world in 2021. So that's exactly what I'm doing, and I didn't expect it to start off the way that it's starting in terms of getting such a big gig. Sorry, I'm just tweeting out the link in case people missed the fact that I'm finally live. Give me one sec. All right. And that should do it. Bang. Yeah, so I will be doing a DFS show, like I said, for Salvetri. I'm really looking forward to actually getting into it and coming up with my own strategies and seeing what makes me a successful DFS player. Obviously, it's going to take a couple months to really get comfortable in that position. But one thing that I'm still looking forward to and trying to figure out is how I'm going to kind of format that show. And I know, like, I have my lock of the night play, which I usually use for my betting and all that type of stuff. But I'm trying to figure out, like, should I have a lock of the night type of piece for every single lineup, a fade of the week. I know that's something popular within the DFS world as well. Maybe a 9,000 range fighter that, or an 88 plus range fighter that you don't want to be touching, who's probably going to score low. Yeah, so I'm still trying to figure it out. If you guys have any suggestions or anything like that, anything that you'd want to see in a DFS type show, please hit me up in the chat or even in my DMs, and I'd be happy to take it into consideration. So we'll go over my bets real quick, and then I'll get into the comment section just as normal. Well, let me just see what the comment section is saying just to kick things off. Greg Love, what's going on, dude? I appreciate the support as always. Happy New Year. I sure said that right off the bat. Happy New Year to everybody. This is the first event of 2021 for the UFC, and I'm super excited. I don't mind that it's in the morning. You know what I mean? Well, it's going to be the afternoon over here on the East Coast. The Wednesday card is in the morning. So the Wednesday card, it starts at 9 a.m. Eastern, which means the West Coasters got to wake up nice and early, or they're probably on their way to work, whatever the fuck it is. But yeah, Greg Love, he says, damn it, I'm reading on the tweeter that we lost the Phil Haas fight. Where can I check for sure? We definitely lost it. If you are on Twitter, my go-to sources for all fight news is Big Marcel 24 and Nolan King, who I believe is MMA _ King on the Twitter. So make sure you guys follow those two guys. If I don't see it from them, if I don't see it from Brett Okamoto, those are the main three guys that I look for. If we don't hear from them, more often than not, it's probably a sham. Martin is saying, "Yeah, buddy, get that coffee on." Yeah, let me take a little swig. Let me. Still a little bit hot there. Greg Love, no coffee. It's 5 p.m. where I'm at. I'm assuming you're over in the UK, so maybe not even in the UK. Let me know where you're at, Greg. But for us, yeah, it's fucking 10:15 a.m. at least on the East Coast. Nick West, shut up, brother. I appreciate you hopping on nice and early with us, Martin. 2 hours till we start cash, and I hope so. Got a bet on that first fight. Again, I'll go over my bets as soon as I get through these comments kicking off the chat. Yes, again, I appreciate the compliment on the hat. Yeah, Greg Love, who we lost Hawes. No self-control. Yeah, wiener dogs are the best. Probably the cutest for sure. Nick West is asking where we can order the hats. Not these ones. These ones won't be coming out to you guys yet, but I do believe, not I believe, I know there is other merch shit that I got coming out, so I can't wait to do that. Martin is asking, lock of the night on a wake and bake. Not yet. Like I said, I literally rolled out of bed about 20 minutes ago. So, give me a chance to wake my ass up, and then I'll go get baked. But that is definitely the plan after this stream. Brian Otionio, yep, Haas fight has been brushed off. That kind of sucks. Danny Legs, nice and early in the chat. I appreciate you hopping on, brother. Yeah, good luck on your bets today, brother. Socrates, lock, let's make some fucking money. That's what I'm hoping for. Nothing better to start off 2020 than ending up in the green. So I'm hoping that's exactly what happens. MMA Junkie, yes, they are okay as well too. But in terms of guys that like tweet about an announcement immediately, it's usually Big Marcel. It's usually Nolan King, who also works for MMA Junkie as well. But obviously, the Twitter world is the quickest and fastest way you're going to get information compared to guys that have to go out there and type up a full article about what happened, right? So yeah, Nolan King and Big Marcel, my main go-to guys. BP, I strongly feel like Amiv gets a finish here. His last 7 bouts have gone to a decision. He's due for a finish. Also, after Amiv, after he beat his last opponent, he stated he still wants to get a finish. Now, the one thing I want to highlight about this comment, and I see it a lot in the gambling world, and I know I don't want it to sound like I'm over exaggerating it, because I feel like BP might have just thrown it in there just for the sake of throwing it in there. But saying due for a finish, or due for a win, or due for a loss, or due for something and something, the MMA gods don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what kind of streak you're on. It doesn't matter what kind of lull you're on, whatever the fuck it is. You're not due for anything in this game. You know what I mean? It's up to the fighter at the end of the day. So if he goes out there and gets a finish, it was meant to be. You know what I mean? It's not due for it just because it's been so long since we've seen one. Again, I might be over exaggerating to the point, like, compared to what BP was trying to say here, but I just hear it so much in the gambling world that I just want to kind of shoot that down real quick for you guys. I still feel like he goes out there and gets a decision. Zavada is quite durable. Obviously, we saw Li Jingliang put him out late. Even in the Danny Roberts fight, man, he took a lot of shots, but was still chugging forward, right? In terms of submission, I feel like Zavada is a higher credentialed jiu-jitsu artist, so I'm not sure if we'll see a submission from Amiv, though we have seen Amiv win via submission in the past before his UFC days, most notably his last finish, which was against Mikhail Falcao over 7 fights ago in M1. But yeah, I'm still going with Amiv via decision. Nick West is saying good vibes, and I absolutely agree, brother. Jamal Kwan, what's going on, brother? Max Holloway out with the bro. Dude, if you fuck hey, Jamal, I'm gonna give you one warning, brother. One warning. We don't fuck around with fake fight announcements or fake fight cancellations here. So I'm gonna look to the Twitter, or I'll let some other guys help me confirm that. But if that is some bullshit, you got that strike one. And in my game, there's only 2 strikes. You fuck around and do that again, I got blocked from the channel, dude. I don't deal with that shit. We're not about that trolling life out here. Just saying. Greg Love, have a like 2 to 3 to 1 bet, maybe 2 fights over and a half. That's where I usually go for. I'm in Cyprus. Ooh, Cyprus. It's a exotic place, I'm assuming. Sorry, I'm not sure if you were suggesting that I should throw out or recommend a 2 to 3 to 1 bet. But yeah, if that's what you want, let me know, and I'll try to cook something up for you. I will also go over my bets, like I said. Nick West, thank you as well, brother. Tejas Malik Zoada looked great at weigh-ins. Yeah, his abs looked weird as hell. Like, they look like pipes. Like, they didn't look like a 6-pack. They look like pipes. I've never really seen that in a fighter before. That was weird. Martin Buckley via decision is a great bet. He won't get the KO finish on Deke Rico. I agree. And also, now that my Phil Hawes in round 1 prop is out of the door, I think I might be making that Buckley decision an actual bet. My only concern is the fact that I already have a little bit of money on Buckley, and I don't really like double dipping. But we'll see. After I hop off the stream, I'll see what's going on. Kuvet Gurbanyazov. Hopefully I nailed that one. Big fan of you being a big fan of me. Appreciate the love, brother. How long you was doing this analysis? I'm assuming you were wondering how long I've been around the game. I believe, well, not I believe, I know. So I personally have been a fan of the UFC since about 2008. And then in 2011, I've actually, I worked for the UFC a little bit in a volunteering capacity, helping them out with their PR up here in Canada for a couple events. Then I moved on to doing regional MMA shows up here. I've logistics manager, helped manage a couple fighters, cornered a couple of amateur fighters as well too. Worked at an MMA gym. Yeah, I've done a lot in the MMA industry. And now I've kind of finally found my niche where I can be my own boss, do my own shit, and get paid decently for it too, right? So I've been around the game for a while, and now in terms of betting and taking it seriously, I've been doing this since 2017. So we're approaching 4 years now that I've been around this betting MMA game, and I've definitely seen a lot. Appreciate the support and love as always. Socrates, yeah, it's bullshit. I agree. Scritchen is saying preach Martin in terms of that decision prop for Buckley. I agree. Are you practicing MMA? What's your biggest win, biggest bet? The only extent in terms of martial arts training that I've had, I've boxed, well, not professionally or anything like that, or amateur even. I've literally just used boxing as kind of like a fitness routine. Again, I used to work at an MMA gym. The main discipline at that gym was boxing. We've had guys like Elias Theodoru, Mitch Gagnon, and Sean Pearson come out of the gym. Again, Toronto, not really a hotbed for MMA, but we've definitely had some talent up here. And then we also have a bunch of regional pro MMA guys that I used to work with it as well too. What's your biggest win? That's hard to really say. But I'd say, the one that I'm most proud of, especially in 2020, was betting Derek Brunson versus Edmund Shabazian. Originally bet him at plus 257, then he got up to like plus 306, so I doubled down a little bit more there, and then even called that prop to a T, the round one prop or round three prop, which was like plus 2200 or plus 2800. I don't remember what it was, but that was definitely something that I like a lot. Alex Persu, what's going on, brother? Good morning to you, depending on where you're at. So was that guy lying about Max White? I'm absolutely I think that he was lying. Again, I don't see him in the comment section anymore, but I think he was lying. BP also, I think Wu gets finished too. Interesting. I looked in Tapology and I see that a few of her bouts have gotten a short notice replacement in which she has finished them. Good point. Can't Tapology cap all the time. I think Edwards is really good, man. I think she definitely has a good ceiling on her. I think she has some good potential, and I think she's been staying ready. Like the last fight that Edwards had was against a girl that was 3-4. Now, when you have a girl that's already like 8 or 9 fights into her career, she doesn't really take types of fights like that. But if you look at her record, the last time she fought was in 2018, and it feels like she was kind of just trying to stay active, looking for a fight, couldn't get a fight, and then finally took this scrub of a fight just to stay active, and she looked great. So in my mind, I believe that she's just been staying ready and just waiting for opportunity. So I wouldn't just say that she's coming off the couch here to take on Wu. So if anything, I think Edwards is the one that gets the finish, but I could be wrong there. In terms of an actual bet, I'm staying off of that fight. There are a lot of X factors. Like you said, the short notice is definitely a factor in it, and that's hard to cap at this point in time. Kevin Tatum, what's going on? Thought Brown looked bad at weigh-ins. I'm seeing a lot of people say that, but I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to be a little biased, considering the fact that I have a small bet on Matt Brown. But I don't know. Maybe I'll go back and look at it and check it out myself. BP saying, yep, he agrees. I did see a couple people saying it, so maybe I just missed it. But yeah, I still think Brown likes it there. For you watching, hit the likes, boys. Yes, I do not remind people enough. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, I would very much appreciate it. I'm closing in on that 2100 mark now too, so that's fucking awesome. But yes, please hit the like if you guys are watching and checking me out this Saturday morning. Greg Love, in general, I mean, make it a thing. For example, today I have a Pons and Buckley, Pons and Toff around 2. Yep. Not a lock-in anyway, but not bad either. Yeah, for sure. Like, I like the obviously better odds or boosted odds that you're getting for having a 2 or 3 fight parlay, and I absolutely get that. But in terms of like being a long-term better and putting out official plays, I want to be as safe as possible. So yeah, there's going to be some underdogs here and there. There's going to be a couple parlays here and there, but like more than one parlay per event, that's probably officially what I'd be putting out. No more than one parlay, compared to some of these other fucking scrubs that are putting like 40 plus parlays out there, which is absolutely insanity. But yeah. And then obviously there's those degenerate parlays and those for fun parlays, but like I wouldn't recommend anybody go out there and put serious money on these things. Just be smart. That's all. BP is Malcolm Gordon, your boy. Malcolm Gordon actually lives about 3 hours away from me, actually maybe less than that, maybe about 2 hours away from me. And he did fight on one of the regional promotions that I actually helped put on. And he was a talent back then, man. Like a lot of people were saying, okay, another adrenaline MMA guy, training under Mark Hominick and Chris Ordesky and Sam Stout and those guys. And this is the new generation. And unfortunately, the man just cannot take a punch. And I feel bad for the dude. He's a great guy. But yeah, very rough showings in the UFC for sure. Alex Persu, good morning, Chicago, Illinois. Thanks for the answer. I love me some Chicago. I've road trip, so I'm obviously up in Toronto. I've road trip down to Chicago a couple of times now. I went to the Holly Holm versus Valentina Shevchenko fight. I did also go to Rashad Evans against Phil Davis. I love it in Chicago, man. That deep dish, fuck. We don't get deep dish like that up here in Toronto. God, I miss me some Giordano's. Greg Love, I have Buckley via decision with Qatar winning and the canceled Hawes winning round 1, 40-1. Yeah, those are very, very nice odds. Now it's 9-1. Still no easy task for sure. But you don't want to risk serious money on that, right? You want to be okay with losing that bet if you lose it. But if it cashes, you're fucking chilling, right? But again, don't get lost in those types of bets. That's all I'm trying to say. UFC Shark, a very good supporter of mine. I appreciate you coming out, brother. Saying, what's up, everybody? Good luck. Smash the like button for this man answering questions. He's out. Appreciate you, Shark. You're the dude. Under on Lingo Scrap 1.5. I know that's plus money, so that's like plus 150, I believe it is. But I have the play on the under 2.5. All right, let me get into my actual bets. Let me get into the actual bets that I'm on, and then I'll get back to the chat real quick. So let me rattle through these real quick. So my lock of the night play, I got to the over 1.5, 4 units on Ponzinibbio and Lee. I got that at minus 165. The line is roughly around that minus 200 range now. Let me just update my best fight odds page so I can know where these lines are actually at now. The over 1.5 is roughly around that minus 200 range. So yeah, I try to hop in on that as soon as I could. Luckily, once my limits opened up, I was able to hit that shit. And as well as everybody on the Patreon, everybody that was on the Patreon got that the day that I dropped it. I believe it was January 3rd or 4th. So we're talking over like close to 2 weeks ago that I made that bet. So shout out to everybody that's on the Patreon. Again, I'm going to plug the Patreon. The Patreon's the way to go if you want to support your boy. $5 a month. You guys get all access to the picks as well as early access to the breakdowns. I got a new thing coming out as well called a pay-per-view parlay for the Patreons, where I put 5% of my take from Patreon, my monthly take from Patreon, and I put it on a 4-leg parlay that's chosen by you, the patrons. And then if I win that parlay, all the winnings go to a random patron. So I'm looking at ways to give back to you guys for supporting your boy. And then I got a bunch of other shit on there too. All right, let's get back to the picks. I have 3 dog of the night plays as well. I got 1 unit on Calvin Cater at plus 146. I got 1 unit on Matt Brown at plus 135. Absolutely botched that line movement. I did not expect people to be as heavy on Condit as they are. Still very confident in Brown here. And also that decision prop at plus 400 looking really nice for Matt Brown, in my opinion. Also, somebody just touched on it. I got the Austin Lingo and Jacob Kilburn under 2.5, not 1.5. I got the under 2.5, 1.5 units at plus 113. That's obviously at minus 120-ish now. A lot of people are on that play, and for good reason. And then lastly, I have Carlos Felipe and Joaquin Buckley parlay 1.5 units at plus 110. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plays. It was supposed to be 6 because I had Hawes in round 1, 0.25 units at plus 325. That's obviously canceled now with Hawes pulling out. Yeah. So I might put in another prop to kind of replace that one. But I'm not sure yet. I'll take a look as soon as I hop off the stream. All right, let's get back to the comment section. I appreciate you guys hanging around. Like I said, Socrates is saying, what do I think about the under 1.5? At plus money, I don't mind it. But when I'm betting unders, I prefer the 2.5. You know what I mean? Especially when I got it at plus money, I thought that was a solid spot. If you can still get it around minus 120, I think it's a good play. But yeah, if you want to be a little bit more ballsy, that 1.5 is a spot to go. Billy Briz, what's going on, brother? Shout out to the PSR guys. Who's your long shot of the day for DFS after the Haas fight got dropped off? I ended up on Tafa. My long shot's gotta be Cater, man. I think that he has a ton of value at that line that he's at. Well, long shot, I guess you're talking about somebody that a lot of people are probably overlooking. I think it's got to be Puna. I think Punahale Soriano definitely has a good shot to go out there and upset Dusko Todorovic, especially in that first round. I think that he has a high upside in terms of scoring a high amount of points, given the price tag that he's currently at. All right, Martin, Morass 6-6, Mello 10-8. How do women's MMA fighters stay in the UFC with these records? Dana must be getting his fingers sticky. This is why I love doing these streams right before the fights. Yeah, I mean, you guys are fucking savages. Yeah, this is truly a loser leaves town matchup. You know what I mean? Especially for Vanessa Mello, who's on a 3-fight losing streak, which is absolutely bananas. Moraes has been around for years now, especially since she was on the Ultimate Fighter, but she's able to just like flip flop wins and losses here and there, and still stay in the UFC somehow, some way. AA, what's going on, man? I appreciate you coming out every week, every fight week, I should say, and supporting your boy. All right, am I crazy to sprinkle money? Soriano round 2, round 3, round 1, round 2, round 3, and decision, all pays 6 times more. Ooh, that's not bad. Personally, I think the round 1 is the way to go, but if you don't mind, yeah, I'm picking Soriano to win. But again, as I said throughout the streams that I've done this week, like my confidence level in Puna has kind of just dropped throughout the week. I still believe he wins, but yeah, that's not a bad little a thing there. I thought the sneaky play was the decision in case he's able to get his wrestling off in those later rounds and kind of overpower Dushko. I think he'll be able to do that. So a decision is definitely not out of the realm of possibility. I don't mind that. Good luck if you go for it, brother. Nick West, I was outside shoveling snow with Bluetooth and listening. I'm in Ottawa. I heard Chicago deep dish. Of course. I love me some deep dish. And I can't believe you guys are shoveling out there in Ottawa, dude. Down here in Toronto, all the snow is already like pretty much melted for the most part. Like I just went out to my backyard to take Alfred out before to let him go take a poop. And yeah, most of the snow in my backyard is all gone. Praise Jeebus. I hate that white shit. Dimitricipt. I'm always gonna butcher this one on a week-to-week basis. I really love Cater by decision plus 350 and Edwards by decision at plus 240. Yes, I do agree with that second one. However, I do think Cater will get the finish tonight. I think that he's going to go out there, light up Max Holloway, and I know Max Holloway never been finished by punches. And never been knocked down in the UFC, but man, has he taken a ton of damage, and man, has he been rocked and stunned in a ton of his fights. Now, this is the first time he's going to be fighting somebody as technical as Calvin Kattar, who's able to keep up that pace over a 5-round period. So I'd be interested to see if Holloway is going to be able to deal with that. Where are we at? God damn, you guys are killing it. Here we go. AA. Yes, Hawes and Imavov is canceled. I'm bummed about that one too. It's always shitty when it's one of the more highly debated ones. Like, why couldn't it have been fucking Sir Maras against Vanessa Mello that got canceled, right? But the MMA gods letting us know nice and early in 2021 that they don't give a fuck about our feelings. Greg Love, mate, can you explain what a unit is exactly? Yeah, sure. Yes, Martin's already on it. No, a unit is not $100. A unit is... Yep, Nick West is on it too. You guys, I love that you guys are already on. I don't even need to explain it. Thanks. I appreciate you guys. That's why you guys are the fucking greatest. Making my job a lot easier. All right, let's catch up with the chat here. Steiner Bloke, yourself excluded. Who would you consider the best capper predictions worth a look? There's a lot of good guys on Twitter. Now, the thing is, a lot of these guys don't put out that content on a week-to-week basis. So if you want to follow them, you'll have to like purchase their packages and all that shit, or just follow them on Twitter. But some sharp dudes. We got my guy AMG Warrior Bet. If you guys remember, I had him on my fight companion that I did for UFC 255. The other guy that I had on the fight companion that night as well, Bets and Picks MMA. He's very good at handicapping. Killed it last year. I think he was like plus 96 units or some shit like that. In terms of other predictors that I find that are very sharp that I actually put out content, DFS by the numbers. Me and Brady are pretty cool now. I'm hoping that me and him can do some shit in 2021. I think he's a solid guy as well. Yeah, Clint is great. Hit a bit of a rough patch at the end of the year. He's a dog hunter as well too, which has its risks. So if you guys don't mind that, he's a decent dude at finding that value. May not always work out for him, but it definitely when it does, it pays off. Yeah, those are the main guys I'd shout out for sure. And Nick West doing God's work, helping me explain. Martin. So personally, I use $100 units. That's where I'm at right now. I'm looking to expand it this year. I could expand it if I want, really, but it realistically is 1% of your bankroll. So depending on how much you have dedicated towards betting, the unit system is what people use so that they don't go broke, they don't lose the roof over their head and they're able to still fucking put money on the table or food on the table. And yeah, I think any responsible bettor should definitely be using the unit skill. Nick West, Saftik is very knowledgeable, like Locke. Yes. Cody is a fucking phenomenal dude. Like a lot of people don't know this. I've known Cody for close to 10 years now. We did work on an MMA show together in terms of like actual professional fights. We did put on a couple fights up here in Toronto. He works with the Fight Network, obviously, and I had a close relationship with those guys too. Yeah, Saftik also is an MMA matchmaker up here in Canada as well too. He puts together a bunch of fights for some promotions, helps a lot of promoters find opponents and fighters. Saftik knows what the fuck he's talking about. I gotta catch up on the fucking chat here. You guys are absolutely slaying it. Tejas is saying Puna is at plus 150 right now. Not a bad spot. I think I'm personally going to stay away from it, but I won't lie. He is on a couple of my degenerate parlays. Nick West, it's different for everybody. Yep, he's absolutely right. Sprinkle some on pawns by decision or by KO. I'd go with a decision. I could see a late possible finish. Jing Liang is so goddamn durable. Even though he's been knocked down as many times as he's been knocked down, the guy's just never been finished by punches. You know what I mean? The last time he got finished was by Keita Nakamura via submission, and that was over 5 years ago. So my main play is the over 1.5 in that fight. So I'd rather go with the Pons decision just to be on the safe side. The guy only has $100 bankroll. Yes, his unit is $1. That is correct. Martial arts fan has Dushko, and he also has Mello. It's a ballsy play right there, but I could absolutely see it happening given that Sarah Moras is definitely not that good either. Socrates in Cornwall, an hour away from Ottawa. It's just coming down hard. Damn. Poor guys. Dimitri, I will never bet on Vanessa Mello in my life. I agree. If you were to ever bet on Vanessa Mello, this would be the spot given her odds, the shape that she's come in. It looks like she's fucking taking it seriously. And again, her opposition is Sarah Moras. So I'm not banging on anybody that's actually betting on Mello here. 25 centimeters coming 10 inches. Jeez. That's a lot. I hope we don't get hit with anything like that, but we're good. You guys are savages up there. Nick West thinks Max will get finished in the 4th, I think. I think it'll be a little bit earlier. I think maybe rounds 1 to 3. But yeah, I definitely like it. Football and fights today. Dat Playboy, 10 inches. You talking about the snow? Yeah, bro. God, you guys are so dope in the fucking chat. I love it. Shout out to Dat Playboy, a Patreon member. Y'all are the best. Martin Clint is partial to a simp bet, unfortunately. Sorry, Alfred. Sorry, I didn't give you a portion. I'm sure you guys heard him in the background there. I gotta keep feeding this guy. Ooh. I cannot let him eat that much. Give me a sec, guys. The last thing you guys want to hear is Alfred vomiting out here. Give me a sec. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. If he does end up gagging a little bit, I'm going to have to pause the stream for a sec. Clint, like you said, Clint is partial to a sim bet, unfortunately. Like, that's the thing about captors and predictors. We're here to give you guys the information that we've dissected from running the tape and running the work and doing the work like you guys, just to save you guys the time from doing it. But at the end of the day, it is you that pushes that that submit button on your websites. Take the information that we give you guys and try to make your own decision. You know what I mean? But if you don't want to, like if you just want to blindly tail people, the best way to do that, in my opinion, is just go on betmma.tips and find the guys, go through all the top handicappers there and see the types of styles that these guys bring to the table. There are volume bettors. There are guys that look for certain spots or small spots to take advantage of on a fight to fight or event to event basis. So that's a good way to just blindly go out there and tail some people. But if they're not on BetMMA tips, highly suspect. Highly suspect. Just saying. All right, Greg Love. Betting aside, Coleman and Maynard are going to be really fun. I absolutely agree. Yeah, great fights. Great fights on the main card throughout. I mean, they really went all out for this main card on ABC, the first ever fight they're having on ABC. I think it's a good strategy on their part to put on these fun fights on that main card. You wish you knew Growzilla. Scared money don't make money. What the fuck is one going on? Of course, but you got to be smart with it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that you should only be betting $1 units or anything like that, but just be safe. You know what I mean? Be a responsible fucking gambler, and especially if you're in it for the long haul, you got to be safe. Andrew Grigsby, what's going on, dude? 2021. Let's get this bread. Absolutely. We got 3 events in fucking 7 days. So let's hope we can kill this first little slew of events that we got going on. Standard bloke. Appreciate the wife taking Alfred for me. Maybe the wife can even take. Okay, it's all good. Wife coming through. Standard bloke. If Buckley and Holland rematch down the road, do you see going any differently? Nah. I truly think that Buckley is overhyped, man. Like, there's no way that anybody's gonna be able to hold up to that type of that hype. Like, how do you? And I think that that's what the UFC is trying to do. They're trying to throw him the Alessio Di Cricos and get him a couple more like highlight reel finishes or something like that. So I still think Holland's the better fighter. I still think Buckley will eventually be exposed. I just don't feel like this is the fight for him in terms of Di Crico. I think he will beat Di Crico. I think he'll beat him by decision. But in the near future, Buckley will be very favorable. And luckily, he's going to have that public perception and that public rub where people are like, all right, Buckley's the shit. He's the man. So there's going to be that little bit of a tax on his price tag. And what that means is that we're going to get a better number on his opponent in the future. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they match him up moving forward after this fight, if he gets to win, that is. All right, Socrates, I try to do some of my own research, and it's so hard to find enough time with life, so I appreciate what you guys do. Trust me, that's why your boy's sleep deprived. Your boy's on that 9 to 5 grind as well as doing this shit. So thankfully and luckily, I've been blessed and happy that that I'm pretty much near doing this shit full time. I'm about to drop that 9 to 5 probably in the next couple months. Shout out to everybody on the Patreon. Shout out to everybody that's on the tape index as well. And then shout out to the guys that bring me on to do the shows on a weekly basis, because they're allowing me to solidify a a concrete income source. And that's my main thing here. Like, people can go out there and try to live off of winnings. I can't do that, man. There's no way. There's absolutely no way I'll be able to go out there and rely on winnings to put food on my table or to keep a roof over my head. I feel like that would truly negatively impact the way that I bet, the way that I think, and my decision making when it comes to betting, because I'm going to be thinking about how the fuck am I going to be eating next week? You know what I mean? So you don't want to have those types of things weighing on you when you're trying to make financial decisions like this, like who you should be betting on. So that's why I'm trying to secure more concrete financial means through the Patreon, through the YouTube ad revenue, all that type of shit. And then all the support that you guys show me is definitely seen and definitely appreciated, and definitely attributes to me being able to secure that full-time position doing this shit. So I truly believe I'm only about 2 or 3 months away from actually putting in that 9 to 5 resignation letter. The day I do, probably going to do a live stream, get fucking silly out here and celebrate with you guys. But yeah, it's just a matter of time. So again, I appreciate you guys doing it. Socrates is saying, especially for the prelims. I know you guys don't like digging tape. That's why we got you. Buckley by KO or decision. Di Crico never been KO'd. So obviously Di Crico, the last time we ever saw him was against Zach Cummings, and the last image we have of him is him stumbling all over the cage after Zach Cummings lands a beautifully timed head kick. Now I feel like Di Crico never been finished via KO. That is correct. Very, very durable. Never been knocked down either. That was the first time he was even near being finished. And I chalk that up to honestly him not expecting that head kick at all. And with Buckley, I feel like he's going to be seeing everything that comes his way. Like in terms of, we know the type of striker that he is. He's not going to Impakasanganai him out here. But, I feel like he's going to see all the bombs coming, which was going to allow him to sustain his durability, to roll with the shots and not get knocked out. But I truly think that the forward movement and pressure of Buckley will earn him a decision victory. So I think that prop is a very, very appealing prop. Let me see what that prop's sitting at now. and if we've seen any change in it. Joaquin Buckley to win, or Joaquin Buckley by decision is plus 250. So everybody's listening to people that are saying the decision prop. So that's what I like. All right, Martin, I have 2 units on the Mellow fight being a total disappointment. Professional MMA. You might cash that, my guy. You might cash that. Andrew Grigsby, March 6th card is stacked. You're absolutely correct. Let me pull that shit up real quick. UFC 259, I believe, is the one in March. That's kind of how I usually do it on Wiki, is just like, yeah, March 6th at the card you're talking about. So you got Jan Blachowicz against Israel Adesanya in the main event. Banger. Amanda Nunes going out there to murder Megan Anderson. Banger. Just to see Nunes do that. Piotr Jan against Aljamain Sterling. Banger. Alexander Rakic versus Thiago Santos. Banger. Uros Medic versus Alan Cruz. Great fight. Randy Costa coming back. Looked great last time around. Joseph Benavides against Askar Askarov. That's a great fight. Why Joe B still doing it? No idea. Maybe a paycheck or something. Dominic Cruz against Casey Kenny. That's a great fight. Sean Brady finally coming back against Jake Matthews. Islam Makhachev versus Drew Dober. Great fight. Song Yadong versus Kyler Phillips. And then Kai Kara-France versus Rogerio Bontorin. Great fight for sure. Good luck on that one, man. UFC 259. That's a stacked fucking card. Tejas Malik, did you have an Indian wedding, my man? So in June, so me and the wife got married officially and legally last year in June. That was going to be our date in terms of, obviously we had everything planned. Booked the halls, booked the temple, booked all that shit. And then obviously COVID hit. So what we ended up doing is just doing a very super small ceremony. Me, the wife, my best man, her bridesmaid, and then the minister. So we just did it that way. And the plan is to do it this year in June. But the way things are going, I'm not sure how it's going to work out. However, I told him we're doing it fucking regardless. Whether it's 10 people in the audience, 20 people in the audience, whoever the fuck it is, we're doing it this year for sure. And yeah, of course, it's an Indian wedding. The wife is of Caucasian descent. So we are doing stuff for her. Originally, she's from Saskatchewan. So we're going to be going out there as well to spend time with her family and party up farm style. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to that as well. This is the day and age we're living in. I think Russell Peters was the one who had the joke a couple years. Well, actually, it was in one of his earlier specials where he goes, "Everybody's eventually going to end up being beige," and I truly believe that's what's happening, and I'm helping with that. Just saying. All right, let's keep it going. Stephen Williams got D. Creco versus Buckley over 2.5 at plus 110. I think that's a solid spot. Yeah, I absolutely love that spot. I keep talking myself into D. Creco as a live dog with the size, and Buckley fades after 2.5. I want to say that Buckley absolutely fades after 2.5. But again, D. Creco, I had the same mindset going into researching and taping that fight where I was like, okay, I need to find a reason to bet D. Creco because I want to fade the hype of Buckley. And, D. Creco is a vet. He's been around the UFC for a while, and he's durable. Unfortunately, he just allows his opponent to dictate the pace a little bit too much. So I'm looking forward to that. Martin, he's saying Dana is making an announcement at 3 p.m. on ABC regarding the Khabib meeting outcome. You think he agreed to McGregor rematch? It would be impossible for him to agree to the McGregor rematch until we see what happens with McGregor against Poirier next week. But I don't know. I don't know what we're going to see here. I'm truly blessed in terms of seeing what's happening with that. I don't know. 3 p.m. So that means after the fights are no, that's right before the fights kick off, actually. So yeah, that's going to be nice. I'm looking forward to finding out what the fuck it is. Khabib retired, I think, where Dana said it will impact Conor fight and the co-main. Interested to see how that works out. I'm thinking it could be the fact that they're going to say that Khabib is retired and Conor and Poirier is going to be for a title. That's what I think it is. Stephen Williams, yeah, I thought it was a safer bet than going fight goes to distance just in case there's late finish. Yeah, that's the way that I like to go about it too. Like, if it's over 2.5, and I want to bet the under or something like that, I would rather go fight doesn't go to decision. Or if I think the fight goes to decision, I'd rather take those extra 2.5 minutes and take a little bit less odds and bet the over 2.5 instead. I'm with you right there. Huncho is saying, "Hey, bro, hope you're well." I am absolutely well. It's been about an hour since I've been awake now, so I appreciate that. But yeah. Oh, shit. Nick West with the donation. I appreciate it. The super chat. The super chat is killing it, too. I appreciate you guys. But shout out to Nick West, as always. One of my biggest supporters, bar none. I appreciate him so, so much. Just as I appreciate the rest of y'all. I don't need money from y'all all the time, but I'm just saying, I appreciate it. All right, Ben Peak. Once Michigan go legal with online betting, I sign up with you. Still betting through Indiana. Yeah, that sucks for you guys in the States, man. I know a lot of people that have to like, they make it a date almost where they're like, all right, this is the date that I'm going to go out to fucking Indiana or New Jersey or across the border, wherever the fuck, so I can make my bets. And yeah, unfortunately, you guys are one of those. What's the latest with Michigan betting? Is there any news out there? Are they planning on doing it? Because I know almost on a state to state basis at this point in time that almost every state is starting to bring it into legalization and seeing the benefits of it and how much money they're actually able to bring in to their community just through gambling alone. So yeah, that would be great. And that's great for guys like me too and anybody in my industry. Because it only means more fans, more people that are down to pay for your services or just support you, whether it's being a subscriber, being a Patreon member, whatever the fuck it is. We're lucky that we have a head start on most other people that are just getting into the game. So we're already established. We are already trustworthy enough, and we put together a record and a history that people can trust and bank on. So yeah. Let me know about that Michigan legalization if it's something that's in discussion or not. Again, I'm up here in Canada, so I don't really know too much about what's going on down there. Henry Wells, good luck today, mate. I'm absolutely gutted about Haas and Nemavov. Me too, brother. Again, it's one of those more highly debated ones, and when it's one of those ones, I get really bummed out. Andrew Grigsby is saying, who's next for Sugar Sean, by the way? Good question. The fight that I really want to see is the Marlon Vera rematch. And I say that because there's still heat there, in my opinion. I mean, I know Sugar Sean kind of lost his mind talking about that, saying he didn't lose that fight and all that shit. And then luckily enough, over the last couple of weeks, he's kind of started poking fun at himself for taking that type of approach. So I'm glad that he's finally seeing it as like a joke now more than anything. But I would love to see the Marlon Vera rematch. A very unfortunate circumstance, which made him lose that fight. So I'd love to still see how that works out. All right, Tejas Malik. Yeah, I'm sure you guys are responding to my wedding plans I was talking about. Alex Ramirez, appreciate you stopping by, brother. Good luck. Good luck on the fights this weekend, or not this weekend. In a couple hours. Fuck, I'm still trying to wake up over here. Roberto Lopez. Russell is a great comedian even without the Indian and Canadian jokes. Yeah, man. He's from the little town, not little, it's from the city that I'm from. He's from here as well, but obviously lives down in LA now. But yeah, I've actually met his mother. His mother is good friends with one of my friends' parents. Nice little lady for sure. Alex Ramirez is saying UFC Shark, thanks for inviting me. Yes. Shout out to the UFC Shark. He's always supporting your boy, and I appreciate him spreading the word as well too. Alex, I appreciate you coming on and showing your boy some love. I really, really appreciate it. Tejas Malik, by the way, bro, Gilbert Burns is at plus 200 right now. Isn't that effing surprising? I am a Kamaru Usman truther. I'm a Kamaru Usman believer. I think that nobody is going to be able to dethrone that guy. Now, with that said, I think the two guys that are closest to being able to dethrone him is Colby Covington. Even though he lost to him last time, I felt like that fight was very close. All the judges were pretty much split on that fight. One judge had a 3-1 Usman going into that fifth. One judge had a 3-1 Colby going into the fifth. And then another judge had a 2-2 going into that fifth. So either way, even if Colby didn't get finished, Usman was probably going to get that decision. But I think given their styles, I think they're almost carbon copies of each other, but I think that Usman has a little bit more power, and we saw it there. But I think that fight, if you played it out 10 times, it might be 60-40 Usman or 70-30 Usman. But Gilbert Burns definitely brings an interesting wrinkle here. Great jiu-jitsu, as we know. They're training partners, very good training partners. There's been a couple of times where Gilbert Burns even cornered Kamaru Usman, so they know each other inside out. Usman ended up having to change training camps. We saw him at Fortis MMA for a little bit. And now I believe he's spending the majority of his time in Denver with Trevor Whitman. So I'm assuming he's obviously going to go back to Stanford MMA after this fight. They're still really good friends. But yeah, plus 200 is a little bit crazy in my opinion. I might be passing on that fight. But I like Usman, man. I really, really think it's going to be very tough for anybody to put him out or take that strap from him. Fleet by KO or decision, safe to sprinkle money. I prefer the KO. I don't think that Tafa has the cardio to kind of last the full 15 minutes. And I think we'll see Philippe kind of not one punch KO him, but kind of overwhelm him with strikes and almost like Max Holloway him. Yeah, which is weird to say for heavyweights, but yeah, I just don't think that Tafa has the gas tank to withstand that type of stuff. Bo Jackson, morning. It's a good day. It is a good day. We got fights in less than just about an hour's time. Unfortunately, we did lose a fight, which was Phil Hawes and Nasruddin Imavov. But again, it could be worse. Nick West, good vibes. I absolutely agree. Martin is saying, is the stream going right up until the fights? Nah, I'll be cutting it short in about 10 minutes. Usually I only do about an hour. Usually it's at 1 p.m. Eastern on fight days. And then obviously we know that fights normally happen at 7 p.m. Eastern. But given the fact that it's a little bit earlier today, I wanted to get on at least 2 hours before the fights. I got a couple things to do before the fights actually start as well. So I just wanted to at least hop on and talk to you guys and get out the last minute thoughts and all that shit, just as I always do on fight days. Speaking of which, the next MMA Lockcast Live is going to be for the Wednesday card. And if you guys are already in the know, that Wednesday card, the prelims kick off at 9 a.m. Eastern. You bet your ass I took the day off work. You bet your fucking ass I did. So I'll be doing my live stream for that card at 7 a.m. I'll do 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. and then 9 a.m. the fights kick off. So if you guys want to join me once again, 7 a.m. Eastern time on Wednesday. I'll see you guys for that one. All right, let's keep going. Ben Peak, it be sometime next week when it's legal for the official day. Oh, it's that close. I'm glad it's that close. Sweet. Appreciate it. John Stout is saying Bloody Mary and morning tilts. Enjoy, boys. Yes. I'm about to go ahead and hit up the Jah gods, the ganja gods, as soon as I hop off the stream, and I can't wait to just sit back and watch these fights. My thing is coffee, cannabis, and combat. That's the way that I like to approach these early fight days. So I'm really looking forward to that. Stephen Williams, Philippe said in an interview he thinks he'll break Tafa and finish him in the second. He also said he wouldn't let the De Castro fight go to the scorecards. That is true. I was very demoralized with his inability to get off the cage in that third round, where Jorgen just kind of bull rushed the entire time and was able to push him up against the cage. Thankfully, all the judges gave that third round still to Philippe, given the fact that he was the only one dishing out damage and not just holding a motherfucker. So, yeah, I'm hoping that we see a little bit more improvement from Philippe in terms of getting out of those positions. And I do think that he finishes Tafa. I just don't think that Tafa has the gas tank. That's my issue here. Andrew Grigsby, also, when do we see the heavyweight debut of Jones? It looks like he's getting close to his final form. You know what I mean? If you guys have been following him on the IG or on the social medias, you'll see he's packing on that muscle, and it seems like he's getting closer. I think he said he's about 240 pounds, so I'm not sure how much bigger that he wants to get, but I think Ariel last night tweeted out that they're going to do Francis and Stipe in March. So maybe we see Jones in the summer. So if he doesn't debut in a heavyweight by the end of summer, I'd be very surprised. But I'm going to ballpark maybe May, June, or July that we see Jones come out to the heavyweight division. Alex Ramirez just subbed. Appreciate it, brother. I appreciate the support. And I hope you get to join us for more of these live streams as I do them. Again, they're fight days. Fight days normally 1 p.m. Eastern when we have regularly scheduled fights that go down at 7 p.m. Eastern. Otherwise, I usually do it about 2 hours if it's an earlier card. Bo Jackson, O'Malley should fight someone on his level. Maybe Frankie Science. The disrespect, Bo. Straight disrespect out here. No, I truly think we should see the Marlon Vera fight. We didn't really get to see it play out. You know what I mean? We didn't get enough of it. So I'm down to see it again. MMA Genie, that's my guy Justin Jr. Shout out to the youngest MMA interviewer in the game, making YouTube comment out there. When this guy hits 20 years old, I believe he's only 13 right now. Once he hits 20 years old, he's going to be slaying the game. He's going to have all this experience. He's going to have all these connections and relationships that he's made at such a young age that, yeah, please look out for this kid. He's killing the game for sure. He said, just woke up, gotta take a shower, get dressed, ready for fights in an hour, dropping by to like. Let's go, Matt Brown. Yes, sir. I appreciate Jeannie. Give me some tidbits on that one as well. Not to mention he's good friends with some guys that are really close with Matt Brown. Just saying. All right, martial arts fans, which fights we get to finish? Let's see. Let me just run through this card real quick and see who we get to finish in. All right, let's start from the top. Cater Holloway. I think Cater gets to finish. Brown Condit, my prediction is Brown wins via decision. Ponzinibbio and Lee, I got the over 1.5 there, but I could definitely see a late finish. Buckley D. Carrico, I see that going to a decision. Soriano Todorovic, I could see being a finish. Edwards and Wu, I'm thinking that goes to a decision. I think we see Philippe finish Tafa. I think we see Amiv win via decision against Zavada. Moraes versus Melo is going to a decision. And then my favorite violence bet on the card is the under 2.5 on Jacob Kilburn and Austin Lingo. So I think that's a really good spot for a fight that we get a finish in. All right, ZW is saying, loving your picks this week. Also jumped on the over 1.5 on Pons Lee and the two-way parlay you got. Appreciate it, brother. Good luck to us tonight. I really hope that we cash. Not tonight, this afternoon, I should say. Alex Ramirez is letting us know that Hawes and Imavov got canceled. Yes, very, very bummed about that. I was very much looking forward to that fight. Shawnee Mac, man, pray to God. Appreciate you dropping that for every fucking stream that I'm on. Just like you and my guy Ben Eggs. Ben Eggs comes into every stream, no matter what channel I'm on. Comes into every stream and just puts LOT in, and I'm sure he just logs off because that's all he wants to do. Just like my guy Shawnee Mac here, he's just dropping that. Man, pray to God. I love it. Kieran Scruff is saying, what parlay are you running? So I only have one official parlay, which is Carlos Felipe and Joaquin Buckley. But in terms like if you want a little bit of a juicier parlay, the legs that I like the most is obviously the over 1.5 in the Ponzinibbio and Li Jingliang fight. Buckley, Philippe, and the under 2.5 on the Lingo fight. I think that would be a very juicy parlay if you want to throw a little bit of coin on that. Roberto Lopez, he's saying he's trying that monkey knife fight. Not easy picking over-unders on significant strikes. Ooh, a little bit gassy there. Yeah, I like that concept. Cody was telling me about this monkey knife fight thing. I'm actually interested in checking that out. I don't know if I'll do it for this event. Maybe the Wednesday event I'll do it for. But I think that's an intriguing way to approach the gambling world. You know what I mean? Just picking over-unders in terms of statistics rather than the actual fight duration. So let me know how that goes for you, Roberto. I know you're in every fucking stream that I'm a part of whenever I'm on a live stream. I know you're always in the chat. So let me know how your monkey knife fight goes next time around. Scott Vetter, thoughts on McGregor versus Dustin? So I haven't run the tape myself yet. I'm still working on that Wednesday card. Early thoughts, I think McGregor gets the finish, man. It's tough to overlook his power. Dustin is still quite hittable. Obviously, they're much better versions of themselves compared to when we first saw them fight each other. But I still think that McGregor gets the finish here. I'm trying to find a reason to bet Dustin, especially at the odds that he's at. Maybe I'll come out with something different when I finish the tape. But yeah, I think McGregor still gets it done. Nick West is saying he's got to run. Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate the super chat, Dono, as well, too. Yeah, appreciate that. Greg Love, remind these good people about the best fighter nickname you heard recently. Yes, Mr. Thick Diaz, a.k.a. Carlos Felipe. I got to shout out my guy, Cody Safter, for bringing that one up to me. Galactic Osprey is rolling up right now. I will be rolling up in about 5 minutes. So I'll meet you up there. Martial arts fan Li Jingliang might play him. I think he's worth a stab. You know what I mean? Given all the X factors that we have about Ponzinibbio coming into this fight, being off for 2 years, the infections and all that type of stuff. Lee is a good fight to come back to, but still quite dangerous as well, too. So I wouldn't be mad at anybody taking a shot on Lee there. Socrates is saying, I like that trio lock. I do too. Galactic saying, let's get it. Thank you as well, brother. I appreciate it. Some solution, what's going on? Roberto Lopez, I'm commenting the card 12 p.m. Eastern. I'm assuming that you're doing a live stream. Some solution is saying, and here we go. Dude, I can't fucking wait. Roberto Lopez, I saw you copy the MMA hose. Justin? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but okay. Alex Ramirez, that's what I told him. Justin Jr., smart kid. Yeah, it's good to get into this game nice and young. So shout out to him for sure. Thanks for shout out. Got to head out early. Roberto Lopez, I spoke with him after the show, so also I changed it. Interesting. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there, but good luck with whatever you got going on, Justin. Scritchen, switch out coffee for cola. No, I'm good, dude. A little bit early for that cola. We'll see. The DXJC56, Matt Brown murdered the last two old men they put in the octagon with him. If he somehow gives Conor his first KO loss ever, man is officially the old man murderer. Could be. I find it very difficult to see how he puts out Condit given the durability that we've seen from Condit over the years, and it still holds up. The guy still eats a shot like lunch. But I think that Brown probably gets a decision victory here. I just can't get over that horrible takedown defense of Carlos Condit. I feel like Matt Brown will be able to expose him there. Roberto Lopez, watching a bit, you get louder than I, so I'll stick to Anik. Buckley, Philip, and Dushko. Dushko is a little bit sketchy for me. So, yep. Yeah, Average Joe, Haas, and Imavov is off. That's a huge bummer for sure. I can say I want to pick Carlos Condit, but I trust you too much. Again, I put 1 unit on Matt Brown, so it's not like a huge confident bet. It's not a lock of the night play or anything like that. But I do think he is live as a dog, and now that the odds are even better too, I think it's even worth more of a stab now. So again, 1 unit. That's a very cautious bet. You got to be aware of, just as I have alluded to, I'm aware of the durability issues of Matt Brown, but if you're looking at a fight that you expect it to go completely one way, which is Matt Brown grinding him out, staying in his face, and going after takedowns in the clinch and all that, I would rather go with the guy that I'm expecting to win the majority of the fight rather than waiting for that one shot from Condit, which most people are expecting. And again, Condit's not really a one-punch knockout guy. Maybe he could do it against Matt Brown. Maybe it could be a head kick, which we've seen, again, guys that never gotten rocked or dropped before, like D. Creco got rocked by a head kick by Zach Cummings last time around. Just got to be careful. But yeah, I do like Matt Brown. Just saying. It's Booty is saying the Haas fight being canceled is a big disappointment. I absolutely agree there. I was really looking forward to that. Why couldn't they take Melo and fucking Moraes? Come on. All right, I'm going to hop out of here in the next couple minutes. I'll take any last minute questions here, but I got a couple things to take care of so that I can just go get up. You know what I mean? Go get ready for the fights, if you guys know what I mean. Andre, Max or Cater? Let me hear your final prediction, brother. Love the show. Appreciate the love, dude. I'm on Cater. I have a 1 year play on him at plus 146. The odds are only getting better on him now too. Yeah, you can get plus 150 at a couple places. He is at plus 140 for most places. But yeah, I'll give you guys a quick analysis on it. Again, just a quick one. Most technical striker that Max has fought. The height won't allow Max to get away with the striking defense that he's been showing as of late, which is kind of just leaning out of the way of most shots and then getting back in and getting his combinations off. He's not going to be able to do that against a guy like Cater. I think Cater hits harder too. I think it's almost going to look like the Poirier fight in the manner that Holloway might land more strikes, but Cater is going to land the more damaging blows, which is going to look much better towards the judges. And also, I think that Cater is very, very live to finish my guy Max as well too, who's never been finished before and never been dropped before, but he's never fought a guy like Calvin Cater before. He, Aldo rocked and hurt him a couple times in their first couple of fights. I'm trying to remember who Dustin Poirier obviously hurt him a bunch of times as well too. I think Cater's going to find that kill shot probably in between rounds 1 and 3. I think that's where he gets it done. Suryanj Ratti, what's going on, brother? This is another avid supporter of mine. I'm betting McGregor, Hebos, Hooker, Nurmagomedov, and Cater Holloway over 1.5, just a unit parlay. I like that. I'm not so sure about the Hooker leg of it. I haven't researched that fight yet. I think Chandler is definitely a live dog, but I got to do the research. But everything else looks great there. Socrates, watching your prop bet show with Cody after this. I haven't watched it yet. Thanks again for your knowledge and content. I appreciate the support, man. Showing up in the chat, hitting that subscribe, hitting that like. That's all I can ask of you guys. That's the bare minimum that I can ask of you guys, and I greatly appreciate it. In terms of asking for you guys, another way to support your boy is the Patreon. $5 a month. You guys get a ton of great content, early access to a bunch of shit, a great Discord channel as well too. We got a bunch of great dudes in there. A couple of them are even in this chat as well too. I appreciate you guys coming out as always. $5 a month. The link is in the description below. Easiest, best way to support your boy, and you get all my picks as well. Even when I'm charging the public, you guys are only paying $5 a month, and you guys are getting all these picks. That's all I'm fucking saying. So if you want to support your boy, that's the best way to go about it. I appreciate it again. Alan Clark, first fight. Kidder, quick as hell. Yeah. First fight, Austin Lingo and Jacob Kilburn. I think that goes under 2.5. I'm going with the Lingo side of it, but I love that under 2.5. I bet it at plus 113. Now it's around minus 120. I think it still has a little bit of value there. So if you guys want to start the night off with the violence bet, I think that's the way to go. David Nettles is saying, I know that Dana is thinning out the amount of fighters in the UFC. Is he done doing that yet? Or are there more fighters to be let go? Greg Hardy, possibly. I don't think they'd let go of Greg Hardy that quickly. I think they're still in the Greg Hardy business. I think that it's just going to be a gradual reduction. It's not just going to be one article where we see they dropped 60 fighters. I don't think it's going to be anything like that. But as fighters start losing fights, like we got D. Creco, who's on a 3-fight losing streak. If he loses tonight to Joaquin Buckley, he's probably getting his walking papers. Same with Vanessa Mello. She's on a 3-fight losing streak. If she loses to Sarah Moraz tonight, she's probably getting her walking papers too, right? It's just gradual. I don't think it's all going to happen at once. So we'll hear more about it for sure. It's Booty saying, good luck today, everyone. Perfect time for us UK fans for sure. I don't mind these morning and afternoon fights. I'd rather get it done closer to the time that I wake up rather than having to wait all day for these fights to fucking take place. Greg Love is saying, good luck to everybody. Stay safe and hit that like. Yes, please hit that like. Lingo and Kilburn again. I got Lingo, but I think the under 2.5 is the safest play in that fight. Socrates F, yeah, I need to sign up for that. Yes, please. Well, I'm not going to beg anybody to sign up for it, but if you do want to support your boy, that's easily the best way to support your boy. I appreciate it. Andre, I'm right there with you, bro. I think Cater's speed and power will be the difference. My only concern is Max's volume. Yes, that is my main concern as well, too. The volume could definitely have an edge on the judges. I'm hoping that we don't have to go to the judges, so we don't need to find out. But again, I think the power is what will translate for Cater. Hopefully rocking and hurting and stunning Holloway at least once in those in 3 rounds should be enough for him to get a decision victory. So yeah, I hate betting against my guy Max. You guys know how much he likes to represent Toronto and where I'm from, especially given how many times he's fought up here. But yeah, I think this is a very bad stylistic matchup for him. Alan Clark is on Mello. I don't know about that. All right, I'm going to wrap this thing up. Again, if you guys want to support your boy, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. And also hit the Patreon as well, too. $5 a month. It's dirt cheap. Best value you're going to get easily. Best value on the market you're going to get. I don't believe in charging an arm and a leg for betting advice. I'd rather grow a foundation of supporters, just as I have right now. We're up to 230 Patreons. Y'all are the fucking bomb for doing that shit. And then the Discord channel as well, too. I'm going to remain quite active in the live event banter chat thread that we have in the Discord for the events today. And I love chopping it up with the guys in there. There's such a great positive group amount of guys. No trolls in there. Everybody's fucking awesome. And they drop some picks as well on college basketball, golf, all this other shit, football as well too. So they have a great community that not just MMA based, but we also cover other sports as well. Not me myself, but thankfully we have other very knowledgeable guys in the Discord that are willing to drop their picks for us. So again, hit up that Patreon, $5 a month. Link is in the description below. Appreciate all the support, all the love. Let me get these last couple questions out of here, and then I'm gone. You like Buckley KO? I like Buckley decision. I think it's plus 250-ish right now. Still like that. Chris Bradford, is 11 a.m. too early to pour a crown on the rocks? Not at all, especially if it's fight day. If anybody else says otherwise, tell them, fuck you. That's all I'm going to say. Andre, peace out. Peace out, brother. Good luck tonight. Max got conditioning. He does. Got durability too, but that's not going to help him get punched in the face. Peace out of this earth. Absolutely. Thanks for your comment and fight wagering advice. I appreciate your support and coming in and hopping in the chat and just giving your boy a view. All right. Good luck on your bets, guys. Appreciate you guys hanging with me. Apologies for the slight delay in terms of starting this right at 10 o'clock. But yeah, I'm excited. So the next MMA Lawcast live episode is going to be Wednesday at 7 a.m. Eastern. Just a reminder, the Wednesday card is nice and early, 9 a.m. Eastern, first prelim. So I'm going to be going live at 7 a.m. to do the same type of stream. So if you guys are up nice and early, come support your boy. Come hang out in the chat, and we'll chop it up before the fights get going. Never Chris, I'll join you. Slanked. Yes. Hop on that crown. Enjoy. Play with your head, not feelings. Exactly. Be smart. Good luck, guys. And I appreciate you guys hanging with me. And fights in 45 minutes. Get ready. Get prepped. Get the drinks. Get the ganja. Get whatever you guys got to do. Get comfortable. And I'm going to be chilling in that Discord chat again. If you guys hop on the Patreon, last time I was saying that, if you hop on the Patreon, make sure you guys connect the Discord. I'll be in the live event banter channel, chopping it up with everybody in there. All right. Good luck.